Hold on to your butts. It's Wilhelm Screamfest.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Screamfest. Wilhelm Screamfest 2, to be exact. Last year we did maybe like 5 episodes because I'm a piece of shit. But this year I'm doing exactly 31 reviews.
31 reviews.
Yes.
Screamfest 2.
I don't think... I'm going to try to do this for as long as I can because I think there's never going to be running out of horror movies or just Halloween movies in general. There's
going on and on till the break of dawn.
Yeah. If you're wondering who that is,
Hello. I'm
just,
Paul.
Yeah, you can look down in the description. It says his name right there. What's up, Paul?
How's it going? I'm so excited to do another four-legged friend film. A werewolf movie.
I was trying to think of something to go off that, but okay. Yeah. So this is
all dogs go to heaven.
This is the last of not just the werewolf movies, but the Wolfenstein Wednesdays. We went over the Frankenstein monster movies. Yes, Frankenstein monster, not Frankenstein. Get that right, please. I will say that till the end of my days. We reviewed Teen Wolf, and now we're reviewing, which most of you probably never heard of this unless you've had a Netflix account and like to watch random things, Wolf Cop.
Yes, the Canadian film Wolf Cop. The second I saw this trailer, I believe I shared it with you and everyone I knew, saying, I don't know if you realize this, but not only is he a cop, this guy's a wolf, all right?
He's a wolf cop.
He's a wolf cop.
So this came out what year?
2014.
And it didn't make it onto Netflix until last.
I want to say either 2015 late or like early 2016, I think. Yeah, but I reviewed it when I was doing my movie a day.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I got it was shared by the actual account for the Wolf Cop people.
That's great when you do a review and the director or someone connected to it actually retweets it.
Probably the biggest one was me and Cody did a full episode review of John Schnepp's documentary, The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, and he straight up listened to it and was like, you guys get it. And I was like, whoa, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only had that happen once. It was The Guest.
Yeah, there you go.
Adam Wingard, I think just retweeted it though, but I was like, oh my God,
yeah.
I made it.
So this is Wolf Cop. This is a low budget Canadian movie. They've since made a sequel, which is due out soon. Another Wolf Cop.
Yes.
Wolf
Cop 2? Does it have any subtitles or like?
It's called Another Wolf Cop.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so they're I see. It's like they're going the Sharknado route, but not like too self-aware of itself, I guess. But basically, Wolf Cop is this piece of shit cop who's always drunk on scene. And
Lou Garou is his name.
See, I don't remember anyone's name in this movie. I'm just like I'm too overwhelmed by just the amazingness and everything that's happening. I don't even pay attention to the actual character's name. But yeah, so doesn't he goes out on the call?
A Loup Garou is a mythical wolf creature. So his name is Lou Garou. That's the joke.
So basically, he goes out on a call and gets attacked by a werewolf. And what do you know? The next day,
well,
isn't it the next day? Or he starts
he gets a pentagram carved into his chest.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah, and he gets like it's almost like a sacrifice, but he lives. And
that's
then
right.
He becomes.
And I watched this like not even a week ago, and I already forgot.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the movie, it's really short. It's 79 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that at the end, I was like, I could have sat another 15 minutes. But it blows by and so much stuff happens that it's easy to forget some of the little details. Like, I forgot the ending until I just watched it again. And I was like, oh, that's right. That's how this movie ends. Yeah.
I'm just going to go right into it. The transformation scene, the first one, is the most amazing cinematic transformation scene I've ever seen on film, just because his dick rips up and fur comes out of it, which I've I mean, I'm sure little kids have like, what if that happened? But someone actually made it onto film.
The slimy skin tearing it apart, like all the practical effects of it are fucking great.
For a low budget movie, I'm not sure the exact budget of it, but it seems like most of it was put into the actual makeup. And I really love the fact that they make it a painful transformation where he's just like screaming and he doesn't just
$1 million actually.
$1 million,
just like
wow,
good old Teen Wolf.
There you go. That's all we gotta do is just make $1 million horror movies, horror comedies. But yeah, just it's so disgusting, like just how it's happening, but I just can't get enough of the transformation. The practical makeup, just like alone, I feel like it's paying homage to the original Wolfman. Where it's the dark.
I think
Wolf
Cop looks great.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's way better than the new Wolfman with Benicio del Toro. That was okay, but I don't know. And then the CGI
it's just,
Van Helsing.
Even if it's not perfect, like it just looks like it's made with love. You know, like it looks like they really. It reminded me of a lot of the stuff in Deathgasm, where I was just like, really like you could just tell they painstakingly tried to make this look as good as possible.
And I haven't seen any, but I'm sure there's amazing cosplays out there of this. Just
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah,
it's so good. And I like how even after, like when they return to the scene where he transformed, you still see like, oh, this is his face. It looks just like you.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
The comedy in it, that's what's crazy. The comedy in it really works. It doesn't just work in a tongue-in-cheek way.
Yeah.
A lot of the comedy, I mean, a lot of it is like, he was a wolf cop. Like, those ones are obviously more tongue-in-cheek. But the actual, like, jokes work really well. When Higgins is like, well, I could tell it was you. You had the car, the uniform, and you were drunk. I mean, all that stuff is great. And speaking of which, Jonathan Cherry as Higgins, Willie Higgins, is so good in this movie.
And Higgins is his like buddy, right?
Yeah, the crazy conspiracy theory. He was in Goon.
See,
he was
I
the guy.
barely remember Goon. Was he like one of the fans?
He was the one. No, he was on the team, and he was the one who was always taking pills. He's like, I got 2 questions for you. I got 2 things to say to you. Don't touch my fucking Percocet, and do you have any Percocet? Like, and then he's the one where they're taking the helmet and they're acting like he's like, oh, we're having sex with your mother. And he's like, stop it. That's him. Yeah. And he's in Final Destination. He's in a bunch of stuff. But here is where he really shines. I think he's so great.
I feel like this type of character is like his character, like calling, like he can do this over and over again, and you won't get annoyed by it because he's so good at it. The whole time I'm just like, okay, how is he gonna be scared at first? Like, is this gonna be like Styles with Teen Wolf, or how's this gonna go? But just the way where he's like almost stoked that his friend,
because he's a conspiracy nut.
Yeah,
he loves like all this occult nonsense. I also really liked Amy Matticio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right at all. She plays the deputy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I like her too. She feels like that the girl that's
like, she keeps a lot of it grounded
because
she's not tongue in cheek in the movie. She's very like baseline.
Yeah.
So she plays off everyone really well.
Who else is?
And then I gotta give praise also to Leo Fafard, who plays Lou Garou. I thought he's great as the main character. You know, you got to be able to hold down a movie as silly as this, and I think he does great.
I don't. I think it's just because it's the outfit and he has like a beard, but I'm like, oh, that could be Rick if they ever like remade Walking Dead.
And the practical effect of his hair growing out of his face.
Oh, that was so cool when he's like trying to shave,
neat.
And it's just like,
yeah. So I was like, what did they even use? Like, I actually just ordered the Blu-ray on Amazon because I want to watch the special features. Because that's what I just realized. Like, wait, why do I give a shit about special features of big budget movies? It's all the same nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a big blue screen, and then we did it on a computer. Hey, look, this is what the first little model part looked like. It was white, and then now he layered it, and then now he textured. Okay, who gives a shit? I want to see what weird hoses they stuck through a tarp to make it look like hair growing out of a face.
Yeah,
like
I don't know what, but it looks pretty good. Like, it's not like it's like a really shitty 80s movie where you can tell like, okay, that just looks bad. Like,
but it harkens back to those movies.
Yeah, it does. Especially there's some 80s synth music tones in there too, which I feel like that's the new trend of everything is.
Yeah, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, synth. Synth needs to come back because
and not only do they parody like crazy horror films and then like the comedies of the 80s, but they do like a lot of the 70s exploitation gore in it also, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, the gore gets insane at moments, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's gore porn. It's more trying to represent what films have come before it.
Yeah.
It gets really gruesome at moments, which I love. I love the gore.
Yeah, and I love Sarah Lind, and she's the bartender.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and there's
can we just say, I'm gonna spoil right now. I was not expecting a sex scene.
Oh yeah, getting down.
And it wasn't like a Teen Wolf like sex scene where it's like, oh, next scene.
Oh no, it is
with cheesy music and
love it.
It's amazing.
Love it. It's the best wolf having sex with a woman scene you're ever gonna see.
Is it?
Has there been another one?
I don't know. I'm sure there's some Wolfman parodies out there. But I feel like that scene is the make or break for the movie. Like if you don't get with that, then just stop watching.
By that point, though, I think if you're on board, you're on board.
Yeah.
I think it comes late enough to where you're either on board already, or this is the final straw. You're walking out of the movie. Like that I think is where like that's the real tipping point. And then there's like some funny stuff at the end with who's actually causing all this stuff to happen, and it goes into like this crazy 80s convoluted plot, but like in a great way. That like is fun and interesting. And it's one of these movies where you say like, oh, it's stupid, it's a guy in a cop outfit and he's dressed like a werewolf, but to me a lot of the stuff in it, a lot of the story elements is like very original. So I kind of like, I'd prefer this $1 million whatever to like $100 million snooze fest where you're giving me nothing. Like you look at like the Mummy movie with Tom Cruise, the new one, and it takes no chances, 0 chances whatsoever on anything. Whereas this movie's just like constantly like, and then we'll add this, and we'll do like a thing with this occult figures and who they actually are underneath, and so they do a lot.
I really like how once he becomes a werewolf, he actually wants to do his job as a cop. Because before he just comes in drunk and doesn't. I think they even have like a tally of like the other cop. She's like solved like 5 or 6 cases, and he solved 1.
Yeah.
And then now he's doing all this stuff with, especially when they soup up the car with like the epic music. It's like, come on, this is just
the werewolf gold. Puts goggles on and starts welding. I mean, come on. The werewolf stops 3 robbers dressed as 3 little pigs. Come on.
So good.
Come on.
And then they even say the title of the movie in the movie
multiple times, which is great. That's what I wanted.
I'm very curious to know what liquor donuts taste like.
Yeah. Well, I got to think it would be like kind of like a rum cake.
I've never had that before.
You never had rum cake?
Is it just like cake but with...
It's cooked with rum, yeah, and it tastes like, and it has like a taste of rum to it, and it has alcohol in it. But I think the alcohol gets diluted once you actually cook it, so I don't think it's actually technically alcoholic anymore.
That's boo. Well, as long as it's not those nasty chocolate champagne thing with like literally liquid, like a shot inside it.
Oh yeah. My parents always buy those for like Christmas, and it's always like it's more than just champagne. Like they have like different liquors.
Oh
in each one.
Yeah.
So you could have like. Some of them are pretty good. Like a Crown Royal inside a chocolate thing is pretty good. But some of them are like, I don't want this.
I remember the first time I had it, I thought it was like a caramel filling with alcohol in it, and it was just
in your face.
It was just, oh my god, I just ate a June bug or something. I don't know. But liquor donuts, which for some reason, liquor donuts and liquor in general make him more powerful.
Yeah, well, that's his power. That's his spinach.
Which I gravitate towards that as a
borderline
enthusiast. Not so much anymore. But yeah, I just think this movie is great because it has balls and it will do whatever it wants to do. I'm really excited for the sequel. Is it the same cast?
Yep.
That's even better.
Yeah, same director, same writer, same cast, same everything. And you could just tell they had a blast making this.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. And it never takes itself too seriously. But at the same time, like, I feel like you still kind of give a shit about Lou.
Yeah.
In the movie. Yeah, and it's a good blend of over the top characters with grounded characters. Like I said, Sergeant Tina, excuse me, she wasn't a deputy, she was a sergeant as well. That's I downplayed her role. She has the same rank as Lou. The Sergeant Tina was great because she's playing it straight.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas then you got Higgins, who's way over the top. So like that dynamic when they're interacting with Lou, who's just kind of a blank slate as far as like, because he's very confused as to what's happening to him and he's kind of just reacting to what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Higgins is being super over the top. She's being like, hey, stick to reality. And it's like a good blend as opposed to like some movies that are like over the top where everyone's over the top.
Yeah, I agree with that. When I went into going to see this movie or watching it on Netflix, I didn't know what I was going into because I feel like Sharknado has warped my thought process on B movies because I used to love watching B movies.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving is like one of my favorite movies ever because it's ridiculous. But I didn't know if it was going to be too self-aware and just be this crazy film. But it's actually a movie that I feel like is, I don't know, it's a B movie definitely. But it's an amazing B movie.
But I think the self-awareness is a misnomer when it comes to these movies because all these movies are Wolf Cop is aware it's trying to be funny. But I think what it has more to do with is effort. Like these Sharknado movies are just like, we'll just slap a bunch of CG on something.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be cheap CG, but who cares cuz we're a funny movie, so it can just be shitty CG and everyone will laugh. But it's like this is like no, we have to sit here and put gallons of makeup on this dude to make it look just right.
Yeah, maybe it's just the care that's been put into this film.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like the B movies that actually care, like even no matter how self-aware, no matter how tongue-in-cheek it's going to be, knowing that it's trying to be a B movie is fine as long as they put in the same amount of effort you would as if you were making like your best. That's the thing. They did their best when they made this movie. They didn't just throw shit on the screen, which is what those Sharknado movies do. Because they're just like, okay, we'll get some C-list actors. We'll have them act in front of a green screen, and we'll just have some D-level animators from Malaysia like do a bunch of CG work. That's what they do,
and that's why I don't really watch it.
Exactly.
I've never even seen the first Sharknado. I've just from what I've heard and scenes I've seen online, it's like meh. But Wolf Cop, I'm all for it. I think it's great that we're seeing a resurgence of these Universal monster movies, even though it's not Universal, but like just the monsters, because you have the werewolf now.
Yeah.
Like the Mummy just came out this year, which whatever. I didn't see it, which I heard is one of the worst movies ever.
It's really bad. It's not even just bad. It's aggressively boring, which is originally the review for Teen Wolf. No, I want to bring that guy back to the present and be like, no, watch this.
Yeah.
I want you to see what aggressively boring looks like.
So I'm not really looking forward to the Dark Universe anymore just because of that. But we have other...
If it's even happening.
Yeah, if it's even happening. But we have movies... What's the
Shape of Water?
Yes, that looks... It's supposed to be almost like the creature from the Black Lagoon type of thing. Maybe we'll see a new Frankenstein monster. I would love to see this... Maybe do a spin-off of this after Teen Wolf 2, but with a different monster.
Yeah, and then like a movie like Deathgasm by Jason Lee Howden is just like, we're gonna take like possessions and exorcisms, but we're gonna mix it with death metal. Yeah, because like the director loves both those things. He loves horror movies and he loves death metal. And he's like, I'm gonna put them together, and and then this is like, this you could tell like the guy is like, I love like B movie gore splatter horror movies, but I also love buddy cop movies, and he puts both of them together. Yeah, and it's like it makes for an interesting mix as opposed to like trying to hit all the beats on a chalkboard. Where you're just like, okay, well the character needs to have this done by the third act. There has to be an action beat every 15 minutes to make sure you keep that. Like you could just tell that's how studios make movies. Oh yeah, and when you're not following a formula like that, I think these movies are much more interesting because of it.
Before we get into the reviews, I just want to say that I feel like what's wrong with horror recent years is we're just doing the same thing over and over again. It's jump scares. It's a ghost. It's
how many times can
killer.
you see someone get dragged?
Yeah.
Out of a room by something unseen.
Like the horror genre is not just about scaring. It's like I'd say The Night Before Christmas. I consider that a horror film or just a Halloween film because it's not just about scares. It's about the overall festival or festive holiday. And this movie fits right in there because it just does whatever it wants to do and it works. Hopefully studios will take after this, or other directors will want to work on low budget movies because we need more movies like this. As for a rating, I'm going to go just off of enjoyment. Enjoyment wise, out of 5, I would give it about a 4.
Okay.
Just because, I don't know, I really liked it, but I felt like there could have been done a little bit more. Just I wanted the extra 15, 20 minutes. Even though it's a very short movie and didn't need it, I wanted that.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4.5 out of 5 for a couple reasons. One, I love this movie. I think it's a blast. I think when I originally rated it, I gave it like an 8 out of 10. But I think I'm bumping it up even further because I've actually rewatched it and rewatched it again and like really enjoyed it on multiple viewings.
Value on it.
Yeah, exactly. And then the only reason I'm really taking it for a 0.5 off is because I want to see the sequel. Just give it that much better of a try. So yeah.
Well, stay tuned later this year because we might do a review of Wolf Cop 2.
I tried emailing them. I was like, I really want a screener if it's possible because they were like, we're gonna do a premiere, but it's gonna be in Toronto, and I'm like, I really want to. I really want to see this movie so I can review it.
I'm guessing it's not going to be wide release either.
No, but I'm assuming it's going to go VOD somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's our Wolf Cop review.
Wolf Cop.
He was a wolf, or he was a fucking wolf cop. Is that what the liquor store?
He's a fucking wolf cop.
Yeah, that was our Wolf Cop review. So we're done with Wolfenstein Wednesdays.
And there's a song.
Oh yeah. I don't even remember the song.
There's a hip hop song, Wolf Cop.
I don't remember the lyrics, but maybe I'll put the link under this this review. But definitely go check it out. It's on Hulu. It's on Amazon.
But most of all,
Amazon.
buy it.
Yeah.
If you like it, buy it, because movies like this, like you buying the latest, Hollywood big budget release, it does nothing for their bottom line. They already made their money. This movie, you buying this movie, especially if you buy it like directly from their website, is like that goes directly to these creators, to this small production studio, so that they will try to make more original content. That's the people you should support when it comes to buying films and buying merchandise and everything else is companies like this. Because I think that's the only way. The only reason that movies like this exist is because they funded themselves, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want more interesting and fun indie stuff, you gotta vote with your dollars. Basically, is what I'm saying.
It's almost like a charity. Just help them out.
Yeah, except you're actually getting something back.
Yeah,
you're getting enjoyment back.
Not just like, I feel good, but you get something back out of it, and you'll enjoy it. Watch the special features, which you need to let me know about that, because
I'm very interested to see them.
But until then, you got the rest of the reviews. Make sure to check out if you haven't seen the other 31 reviews that are out this month, and stay tuned because there might be some. I'm gonna announce this now. There might be some Christmas reviews coming soon. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but we'll see.
Santa with muscles. Last Action Hero.
Oh God.
Not Last Action Hero. What is that movie with Jingle All the Way? Let's think of a different Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
What's this movie called? Like Slay or something like that. It's Goldberg as.
Oh yeah, Santa's Sleigh, isn't it?
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But we'll cover that later.
Yeah.
But until then, thanks for listening. Follow everything. Do your plugs real quick.
The ScreenWatchersGuild.com. Screenwatchers Guild is a podcast about movies, interviews, movie news, good stuff. SWG Podcast on Twitter. The Paul Ponte on Twitter. And every once in a while, I'm on DC Movie News on Popcorn Talk on YouTube.
I'm Ikaika.
I'm Paul.
Thanks for listening.